how to select a subwoofer that will perfectly match with your main speakers. That's one of the most frequently asked question. So that's what I'll be talking about in this video. As an example, here I am using 52001943 as per channel for left and right speakers and 52001943 mono board for subwoofer. This is a channel board, a 5-channel audio amplifier output board, power amplifier board. So here they have used a pair of 52001943 for each channel. So per channel we can consider 70 watts to 100 watts, from 70 watts to 100 watts peak. So two of these channels are left and right channels, left and right speakers of your audio system, of your speaker setup. So what must be the power of the subwoofer that you must select to match with that left and right speakers? In this video I am talking about the minimum requirement, minimum watts needed for such an amplifier that have per channel 100 watts. So as per my understanding, the minimum requirement, the minimum watts of the subwoofer that you must select for left and right 100 watts per channel speakers is 200 watts. Why 200 watts is, that is the addition of the left and right speakers, left and right output power of the amplifier. The addition of the two channel output is 100 plus 100, 200 watts. So here I am selecting 200 watts peak power output board for the subwoofer. We must select a minimum of 200 watts subwoofer, whether it can be an 8-inch, 10-inch or 12-inch or above. You can select any size, but the watts must be 200 watts, minimum 200 watts. That's the requirement, that's the principle, that's the way you must select the subwoofer watts. Subwoofer that will match the left and right speakers of per channel 100 watts. So now you must be thinking about, what about JBL 1500, what about Pioneer, what about the SPL subwoofers? Those are more powerful subwoofers. Here I am talking about the minimum requirement. So please don't misunderstand that you must use only 200 watts. That's not the accurate requirement, that's the minimum requirement. You can use above 200 watts, from minimum 200 watts to, you can say 500 watts, you can use 1000 watts, you can use multiple subwoofers that is above 500 watts or at 1000 watts. That really depend on the room size and the type of acoustics and the type of speakers that is connected to the channels. So if you are using a subwoofer that is 500, 350, 1000 watts or something like that, then you must increase the power output of the amplifier too, of the subwoofer amp board too. This is a 200 watts output amplifier. So I am here using the minimum requirement for this audio system, that is 200 watts 10-inch 4 ohms subwoofer. If you are using 300 or above, you can say a 500 watts subwoofer, then you must increase the power amplifier type, power amplifier output power, and also you must increase the power supply to the power amplifier, subwoofer power amplifier board. But the power output and the power supply needed for the channel speakers remains the same. Okay, so what about if you are using a 5.1 speaker system? As a minimum requirement, you just increase 100 watts extra with the 200 watts. That means if you are using a 5 channel, that is per channel 100 watts, then I told you already that you must use 200 watts at a minimum to match with the channel speakers that is performing at 100 watts. So if you are using, if your audio system channel speakers are at 5 channel and all of those channels are at 100 watts, then you can use a minimum of 300 watts. You must use a minimum of 300 watts at least, and you can go above up to 500, 1000, 2000 or whatever you like. If you are using per channel 50 watts, then you must use 100 watts subwoofer output at a minimum for matching the channel speakers that is performing at 50 watts. If you are using a 2030 IC, you might have noticed that the subwoofer that is being used inside that multimedia speaker is maximum of 45 watts, because the channel speaker per channel is at maximum of 20 plus watt. So they have used the addition of the two channel outputs as 45 watts subwoofer. So that was a simple tip about how to select, how to match the subwoofer watts with the channel speaker. The main thing you must notice or you must keep in mind is that just consider the left and right front channel speakers. Find out how much watts they are producing and add the watts output of the two channels, and that must be the output power of the subwoofer amplifier board. So that must be an informative or a small information that I was trying to make you understand in this video. If you feel like that information is useful, then please hit the like button. Subscribe please to watch more of my videos. Thanks for watching.